Hello, everyone. Welcome to our series on verbal aptitude for competitive examinations. And in this class, we would be understanding the adjectives. So, what are adjectives? Adjectives are words used to qualify nouns or pronouns, right? They provide us more information about the qualities, characteristics, or attributes of the nouns they modify, right? So they can either have an attributive use or a predicative use. When the adjective is used before the noun as an epithet or attribute, that is the attributive use. For example, here, good is used before the noun boy. Anil is a good boy, right? So good is an adjective that has been used here, and the use is the attributive use because the adjective has been used before the noun, right? And that too as an epithet or an attribute, right? Anita is a beautiful girl. So beautiful here has an attributive use, predicative use when the adjective is used after the verb and forms the part of the predicate. So the adjective here is used after the verb. The boy was lazy. So the lazy has been used after the verb, right? So that should be remembered always, that when the adjective is used after the verb and forms the part of the predicate, it is predicative use, right? Now we have certain kinds of adjectives. All of them are important to remember. And I have made one table for all of those, right? So we have proper adjectives that are formed from proper nouns. For example, a Shakespearean play, a Nigerian farmer, right? So here, Shakespearean is a proper adjective because it has come from a proper noun, William Shakespeare, who's a very well-renowned author of English literature. So here we have a Shakespearean play, where Shakespearean is obviously derived from a proper noun. A Nigerian farmer, again, we are, talking about one specific nationality, a Nigerian farmer. So here again, it's a proper adjective. Then we have descriptive adjectives that show quality or condition. A brave soldier. The soldier is brave. The quality of the soldier is that he's brave or she's brave. So a brave soldier. An old lion. So the lion is old. It describes the condition of the lion, shows the quality of the soldier, that she or he is a brave soldier, right? Now we have quantitative adjectives that indicate quantity or degree. Much, little, no, some, any. These can be used in sentences like, no, I can't have much to eat today. So it indicates the quantity or the degree. Okay, no, I cannot have much quantity of this. I'm already full, okay? So I can't have much to eat today. Or, you can have that she has had very little dinner. So here it is indicating the quantity or degree. Therefore, these are quantitative adjectives. Then we have numeral adjectives that show number or order. He stood first in his class. She, right? She is the mother of 2 pets, right? So here we have numeral adjectives that show a number or order. For example, first, second, that is order. One, two, these are numbers. These are very commonly used adjectives. Then we have demonstrative adjectives that point out to specific persons or things. For example, this man is a coward. So um, it specifies that this man, here we are demonstrating which, so it's talking about a specific person or a thing, right? These apples taste great. These apples are delicious. So we're talking about these. So these apples. So these is a demonstrative adjective here. Then we have distributive adjectives that show things taken separately, each, every, either, neither, right? So these show things that have been taken separately. Then we have interrogative adjectives that ask questions like what, which, whose, and exclamatory adjectives that are used in exclamatory sentences. What fine books Sudha has bought. So fine is the exclamatory adjective. What fine books. Okay, possessive adjectives indicate possession, my pen, your book, his wife. So these indicate possession. Okay, the pen is mine, so it's my pen, mine. All of these are possessive adjectives. Then we have emphasizing adjectives that use own to emphasize possessive adjectives. He is his own mother, right? So it emphasizes possessive adjectives that his own mother, it emphasizes that. So they use own to emphasize possessive adjectives. Now we'll be comparing adjectives, the comparison of adjectives. They can have a positive degree, a comparative degree, and a superlative degree. It's pretty simple. And we have always used it in all our life. We just need to have a little idea of what these grammatical terms are. Positive degree is basically an adjective without any comparison. For example, Nitya is a clever girl. So clever. Clever is the adjective here. It does not have a comparison. It's talking about one particular person. Nitya. Nitya is a clever girl. Now, talking about the comparative degree, adjective used to compare two persons or things, right? Amy is clever than Zen. So Amy is cleverer than Zen, right? It is the comparative degree. So the clever is followed by an er, right? Amy is cleverer than Zen. Superlative degree, that is adjective used to compare more than two persons or things, indicating the highest degree. She is the cleverest of them all. So first one, positive degree was clever, comparative cleverer, when two persons or things are being compared, and then when more than two persons or things are compared, then it's the superlative degree, the cleverest. Okay, so this should be noted. Now we would be looking at the formation of comparative and superlative degrees. So there are two methods, synthetic method and analytic method. Synthetic method adds ER for the comparative and EST for the superlative to one syllable adjectives. For example, bold, bolder, boldest, strong, stronger, strongest. So it's an ER and EST in comparative and superlative degrees respectively, right? Analytic method uses more for comparative and most for superlative before the positive, right? Fast, faster, fastest is an example of synthetic method. An analytic method is beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, right? So it uses more. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. However, we have certain exceptions when the positive ends in two consonants or a consonant preceded by two vowels. Use ER and EST. Calm, calmer, calmest, right? Okay. Going ahead, we have okay. I hope the synthetic and analytic methods are clear to all of you. Now we have yeah, certain irregular comparisons. So good, better, best, bad, evil, worse, worst, little, it's less, lesser, least, late, later, latest, many, more, most, for number and quantity. So all these are irregular comparisons and we should keep them in mind, right? Okay. Yeah, these are certain things that must be remembered. Now we are going to talk about the correct usage of some adjectives. So later, latter, latest, last. Later and latest refer to time. I'll talk to you later. What's the latest news? So it's referring to time. But latter and last refer to position. You're always the last one to arrive. Of the two choices, I prefer the latter, right? Then we have elder versus older and eldest versus oldest. Older and oldest are both used for living things and beings. My grandmother is the oldest member of the family, right? Whereas elder and eldest are used for persons within the same family. Of the two sisters, she is the elder, right? Nearest versus next. Nearest for distance, next for position or order. I am leaving on the next flight, right? Yeah, you could have, there are a lot of other sentences that you should try making using these rules, so that you get a hang of how to go about these and how to use them in your normal life. Farther, for more distant, that is, the place is farther than it looks, the summit is farther than it seems. Further, for additional, increasing use increasingly used in place of farther. Further, for additional. Further, I would like to inform you this, So it's further. In addition, I would like to inform you of this. Some is used in affirmative sentences. There are some books in the car. There is some coconut water in the jug. Any is used in negative and interrogative sentences. Is there any juice in the fridge? Are there any boys in the class? He has not read any books. There are not any boys in the class. Some may be used in questions that are really command or request. Will you please lend me some money? So, you should keep these things in mind. Less refers to amount, quantity, value, or degree. She bought no less than 5 kilograms of rice. He possesses no less than 100 crores of property. Okay? Fewer implies number. There is no fewer than 50 students in the class. There were no fewer than 10 artists at this function. Okay? Each and every. Each is used for one of the two or more things taken one by one. Each one of the two bikers is intelligent. It is used in respect of definite number of persons or things, making it more individual and specific. For example, I was away for a week and you enjoyed each day. So it's referring to a particular individual. It makes it more individual and specific. I was away for a week and you enjoyed each day. However, every is used in speaking of more than two taken in a group. Every citizen is loyal to the country. And it is more emphatic when speaking of an indefinite number of persons or things. Example, it rained every day during my absence. It rained every day during my absence, right? Either means one of the two or both. You may take either side. There were cars on either side of the road. So it means one of the two or both. And neither implies not one nor the other. Example, neither option is suitable. As in, this is also not suitable, that is also not suitable. Of all the options you have, nothing is suitable. So neither option is suitable. Neither bank of the river was free from dirt. The trees grew on neither side of the road. Right? So it should be noted that neither implies not one nor the other. And all. Right? Whole means entire, complete. A whole and the whole are used before common nouns in the singular number. The thirsty crow took a whole pot of water. Right? Will you eat the whole cake? So these are common nouns. Whole pot of water, right? Cake is a common noun and it is singular as well. So the whole is used before a singular common noun. Will you eat the whole cake? Whole is used before common nouns in the plural number. So you should remember a whole and the whole are used before common nouns in singular number, whereas whole is used before common nouns in the plural number. Avoid all fractions and give your answer in whole numbers. The whole of is used before proper nouns. The whole of India mourns her loss. The whole of India. India is a proper noun, right? All is used before proper and common nouns. Example, all its money was wasted. All the girls went for a show. All India mourned for Abdul Kalam. When the is used with all or whole, it comes after all, but before whole, right? So the whole, all the, all the girls went for the show, right? Will you eat the whole cake? So the precedes whole, and the succeeds all. So that should be remembered. All right. Just certain rules that, are important in English grammar. So many or a great many, take plural noun and plural verb after it. Many is followed by a singular noun and singular verb. Many or a great many, take plural noun and plural verb. Many is followed by a singular noun and singular verb. For example, many a student was hurt. Many a student. Student is a singular noun, hurt is a singular verb. Many a student was hurt. Was hurt. Was is a singular verb, right? Many students were hurt. Students is a plural noun. Were is again a plural verb. Many students were hurt. Many a flower blooms in the spring season. Many a, right? So it has to be a singular noun. That means it is flower. Many a flower blooms in the spring season. A great many flowers bloom in the spring season. A great many. A great many takes a plural noun, that is, it has taken flowers, bloom in the spring season, right? There are obviously always certain exceptions that exist that must be kept in mind. Few, a few, and the few. Few means hardly any, practically none. It has a negative meaning. A few means some, but not much. It has a positive meaning. So, few students can hope to achieve perfection. So, basically none. Nobody can hope to achieve perfection. It has a very negative meaning, right? Few people reach the age of 100 years. Again, nobody reaches the age of 100 years. It's practically none. So, it again has a negative meaning. It means hardly any. Okay. A few means some, but not much. As we have talked about before, some but not much. I have a few friends in Berlin. I mean, I have some friends in Berlin, not much. It has a positive meaning, positive connotation. We asked him to say a few words. We asked him to say some words, right? The few means the small number, not many, but all of them. I gave him the few spare clothes I had, right? The few men who turned for the rally were dispersed by the police. Little, a little, and the little. Again, little means hardly any, practically nil. It has a negative connotation. There's little hope for success, means there's hardly any hope for success. She has little chance of perfection. She has hardly any chance of perfection. There's little milk left in the pot. How shall I make tea? Basically, there's hardly any milk left in the pot. How shall I make tea? A little means some, but not much. Again, right? It has a positive meaning. We still have a little money left in the account. We can make it to the trip, right? So we still have a little money. A little means some, but not much. Go and bring a little curd. Can you go bring some curd? Some, like not a lot. With a little patience, we can bring him round, right? Now, the little means the small quantity available. I gave the injured the little medicine I had. As in, I gave the injured the small quantity of medicine I had. The dog drank the little milk in the jug. Right? So the little. Now we have certain questions that have appeared in competitive examinations before, and I would like to discuss them with you so as to make you feel confident about the adjectives, right? So, first question, identify the adjective in the sentence. The red roses in the garden are blooming beautifully. Of course, red is the adjective here, the red roses. Choose the correct degree of adjective. This is the most interesting book I've ever read. Of course, right? The most interesting is what should appear here, right? Okay, now another example could be this is dash, this is the dash peak I have climbed. This is the highest peak I have climbed, right? It will come in the superlative degree because we are comparing a lot of peaks that I have climbed, right? It's more than two. So this is the highest peak I have climbed. This is the most interesting book I have read because we are talking here about more than 2 books. We are comparing for more than 2 books. Okay. Now we have the next question. Identify the adjective in the following sentence. The movie was extremely captivating. The is not the adjective here. Movie is a noun. It's not the adjective here. Extremely captivating. Okay, extremely definitely is the adjective here. Right? Extremely is the adjective that qualifies the noun. Captivating. Right? Choose the correct form of adjective. Of all the candidates, Sarah, now of all the candidates, that is, we are referring to more than 2 candidates. Sarah was the most qualified in any way. The most qualified, the is definitely followed by the superlative degree, right? And qualifiest is not a word in the English language. It's the most qualified, you know? Which of the following sentences contains a possessive adjective? Of course. She is wearing a red dress. I don't see a possessive adjective. I found his book on the shelf. His book. His book shows possession, that the book is his. Right? So that one is the answer. Identify the type of adjective in the sentence. The chef prepared a delicious meal. Right? Now, this is where you have to qualify, you have to identify the adjective. It's not demonstrative, it's not possessive, it's not quantitative as well. So it is descriptive. That what kind of a meal is it? It was, what kind of a meal was it? It was a delicious meal. That is, it describes the meal. So it's descriptive. Choose the correct degree of adjective. This is the dash book I have read. This is the best book I have read. Okay, the best, because obviously we are comparing from a lot of books, and the is followed by a superlative degree mostly. In the sentence, the marathon was an exhausting experience. What type of adjective is exhausting? It's not possessive, quantitative, or demonstrative. So it is descriptive, that it was an exhausting experience. It describes the experience. So it's descriptive. Now, these are certain questions that have previously appeared in the GATE examination. One night, I had a surreal dream. The underlined word is, so it describes the dream. Dream is a noun. Surreal describes the dream. Surreal is an adjective that is used to describe the dream. So it is an adjective. The ship was still navigable, right? So what is the underlined word? The cruise ship was still navigable. Now, navigable here describes the cruise ship, the condition of the cruise ship. So it was navigable. It is an adjective, right? So that was it for today. We will meet in the next class where I'll discuss 3 new words with you. Meanwhile, I would ask you to please go through the questions from previous year competitive examinations on adjectives, and do let me know in comments if you have any doubts. Thank you so much.